What is up, guys? This is Velocity Worm and welcome back to my channel. I don't care if the camera angle is okay. Screw the camera angle. I'm done with it. My pen fell out of my pocket. Have to brake. And up we go. Guys, today is the 9th of July 2019. Camera angle, please be good because man, I really can't stand this camera issue anymore. Man, I have to give you a quick update and then talk about the subject I wanted to talk about last week. So look at this guy. He's stopping without signaling. You should signal your intention of making a turn or whatever. Motorbikes all over the place. I like motorbikes. So guys, my bike. Yes, my bike is finished, thanks God. I had a little bit of issue with it on the weekends because the bike shop where I took it to fix it, oh man, we got the green light. Yoo-hoo! So the bike shop where I took it last week, well, they didn't fix it properly. So on Saturday I went out. Sorry, let me just check if I'm filming. Yes, I am filming. Why is the guys going so slow? Oh yes, there's a person with a handicap in front of us and he's going very slowly. Wow, not much you can do about it, but be patient. So I went out with my bike on Saturday. I took my camera with me. Oh, this guy is trying to overtake him, but this guy doesn't let him. Well, he's going in the middle of the road. I don't know why he does that. Maybe because he's very old. Wow, this Subaru, man, looks absolutely fantastic. So I went out with my bike. I'm telling this story for the 5th time, I guess. Come on, man, don't go so slow. And it wasn't unbearable. The steering bar that you have to hold, are you going fast or slow? Decide yourself. Oh my god. So the steering bar wasn't fixed properly to the bike, and it was standing sideways, and you couldn't really go with the bike. It was very annoying. It was like if you wanted to go straight, you had to hold the bar like a little bit to the right, and that was absolutely annoying. That's not how a bike should. That's not how a bike works. It has to be straight. And so I went to another bike shop. The guy there told me they have no room for bikes to take in to fix, but I asked him to do it on the spot because it's not big of a deal. You just need the tools, to fix it, to get it loose, the bar, and then fix it back at its place. And he told me, all right, come on, let's do it fast. And he did it for me. I asked him how much does it cost me. He told me it's nothing because it was just like 5 minutes of work. He told me he won't take money from me, but next time I have a problem with my bike, to go to them. So I believe I will go to them. Yes, I will use them from now on. I think the prices are lower as well than this other bike shop, but that other bike shop was closer to me, and I thought I thought, I don't know, just give it a try because. But anyways, so that's about my bike. And then I went for a ride. I went pretty far out of town. I wanted to go for a ride and film. Took my camera with me, but I don't know for what reason. I think because I left my camera in the backpack. The sun was shining pretty hard. I don't know if you can see, the sun was shining pretty hard. Anyway, it was quite warm, and I don't know why, but maybe because it was warm outside. I had no battery left on the camera when I started up, and on Friday I haven't done a vlog, so the battery should have been at full percentage. I don't know what happened. I started the camera, I did mount it on my chest, and it immediately said that oh man, I can already feel it. If I'm not talking in English for a few days, it's already harder for me to talk. So I haven't used my camera. It should have had full battery, but it didn't, and I couldn't film anything. And then I went back home with my bike. I enjoyed it quite a lot, going with my bike, because now all the problems were fixed. As I said, I won't use this bike in the forest anymore because I don't want to risk to break it again like my brother did. So yeah, hopefully I will be able to do a bike vlog with it. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Oh yes, and yesterday I had an awful day at work. That's another story, but I don't want to get into that because that day is over, and just forget it. I had a long day, and it doesn't matter. Let's just forget it. It was a bad day, and that's it. Today is better. The weather is not that good, but I don't mind because it's at least it's not that warm outside, you know. So it's good. Everything's good. I still have to stop at 2 places today. Oh yes, here ends the good road. Okay. So I said that this week we will continue the subject with the Bible, and why it is useful to us, why is it useful to believe what God says in the Bible. And we've talked about a few principles that if we follow them, our life will be better. And there's a second part to this subject, to this Bible subject I wanted to speak of, but I will leave that to another occasion because I wanted to read and comment on another Bible verse. Let me overtake this guy. There's another Bible verse, another Bible principle that I wanted to talk about that's very useful for us in the day-to-day life. Man, there are so many holes. Oh Jesus. There's been quite a lot of raining here as well, and because this road is made out of dirt and sand and rocks, when it rains it really takes its toll on the road. It makes it a lot worse every day. Ooh, yeah. Let me just open the window because just a little bit more, guys, and then we can get into our subject. I already showed you this part. It's quite an awesome place to live. I would absolutely love to have a house here. You know, just in the weekend on Friday I would go finish my work, and then I would come back here with my car, with my friends, and just go for walks, you know, eat, drink, go with our bikes if we could. Oh man, if we could take our bikes with us. Man, look at this area, man. Absolutely fantastic. There's really nothing to complain when it comes to this area. I really love it. If I could find work here, I would move here. Look at it, man. It's awesome. Up. And I thought I will leave the second part of this subject that I want to talk about to another time, because that's pretty profound as well. And I still have things to say to this first part with Bible principles, with how useful it is to follow and to obey what God says about human relationships, you know, how we should behave ourselves with each other. And as soon as the road opens up a little bit, I want to read those Bible verses and comment on them. To be honest, I'm not really in a talking mood, because, you know, maybe it's because this weather, maybe it's because I'm tired. I don't know. Have to go home and clean my room. Today I really have to do it, and today I will not do anything else, I think. Oh, sorry, mate. Did have a stop sign there, and I should have stopped earlier, but yeah, well, I make mistakes as well. So the Bible verse, let me just find it. Okay, it's from, so the Bible verse is from Colossians, the book of the letter wrote to Colossians, chapter 3, verse 8, or starting with verse 8. So here we read, "But now you must put them all away from you: wrath, anger, badness, abusive speech, and obscene talk out of your mouth. Do not lie to one another. Strip off the old personality with its practices." So this is a very interesting thing, isn't it? Because I think we can all agree that that the things mentioned in this verse are more or less harmful to us and to our relationship. So, for example, wrath or anger or badness, abusive speech, all these well, obviously contribute to the tension and to the fragile relationships that we have today. And so, for example, so it says to get rid of anger and wrath and badness. And well, most of the time, you know, or most of the people and most of the time agree with this, because you know, anger, it's a bad thing. It affects your health on the long run. And you know, there's multiple reasons why. You know, everybody likes a person who's agreeable, who's oh yes, this. And this. I'm not even going to talk about it. Let's just talk about the Bible verse, because this is quite annoying. So everybody agrees and everybody wants around himself or herself a person who's not angry every single time or any given moment. It's not angry, doesn't want to do bad things, and doesn't abuse with speech anybody else. And usually that's the type of person that we want around ourselves, and that's the type of person we want to be, right? So why is this guy braking? So we all agree on that, but look at this guy, man. He's going in the middle of the road. So most of the times we agree with this, and but also you can ask yourself and you can say, well, don't I have the right to be angry when someone makes a mistake or someone does something to upset me? It's my right to be upset because I've been offended. Some bad thing happened to me, or someone intentionally did a bad thing against me. So don't I have the right to be angry? And well, of course the answer it is yes, you have the right to be angry. Oh, just pull the handbrake. You have the right to be angry, but does being angry help you with something? Does it help you with something? Does it give you inner peace? Does it, or if you have an outbreak, if somebody does something bad to you, if somebody does something bad to you, and you respond in anger, does that make you a better person? Does that make you feel better? Most of the times it doesn't make you feel better, and obviously it doesn't make you a better person, because a good person, let's all agree, is a person who can react in a kind or in a positive way when it gets hurt. Because to throw around words with anger and insult each other, well, that can do everybody. If I'm hurt, if I'm not hurt, I can randomly throw around words of insult and such words. And so to be a good person, you need to you need to be able to respond in kindness when someone hurts you. And so let's make an example, because I feel like I have been talking for quite some time and that didn't really make any sense. And that's I think because I haven't talked in English for quite some time, or a few days. Man, I get so sleepy. I got so sleepy actually. So for example, let's say because us humans usually say to ourselves that when we are tired or when we're in a hurry, then we have the right to be angry. We have the right to abuse others with speech. We have the right to hurt others. We have the right to do whatever is necessary for us to get to our goal, because we are tired, or because we're in a hurry, and you can say, well, I'm out of patience, and stuff like that, and so it's not that big of a deal if I say something wrong. But well, and you might not say that to yourself like this, but I'm sure every one of you who's watching this video has thought or has acted like this at least once in his life. You're tired and you just say something dumb, or you say something that you wouldn't really say to someone, and you hurt them, but you think that's not that big of a deal. You're tired, and well, who cares, stuff like that. Well, let's think of a situation. Let's say that you've been working all day, right? So you're very tired. Maybe it was warm outside, you had to work outside, or maybe you're doing work that really needs for you to put physical effort in it, and so you're very tired. Or mentally, you had to sit in front of a computer all day. Maybe you're an accountant, I don't know, and you had a very rough day. and you go home, you know, maybe let's say your husband, and you go home and you're very irritated, you know, you're tired, you even hurry to get home, you're hungry, so on and so forth. So you all have these problems, you know. You feel like, well, you had an awful day, you only want to get home, and you only want to get home and, you know, sit down, eat, and put yourself to bed, and that's it. You don't want to hear anything else. And then you get home, and you open the door, and you find your wife in the door, holding the trash can or the garbage can or whatever you call it, and she asks you to take out the garbage. You know, she tells you, you know, she salutes you, and she tells you that that she wanted to take out the garbage, but since you just came in, you know, don't take off your shoes, and don't get your clothes off, you know, just grab quickly the garbage and run out with it, and throw it away. So and it's a reasonable thing to say, right? So because if you get home and you take off your clothes, then it's harder to find motivation for yourself to take the garbage out, and you know, that's a legit thing. But you're so tired, and you're so you don't have any patience anymore, and you're really at the end of your patience, and instead of you know, just shutting up or saying, yes honey, okay honey, let me take the trash out, and, you know, taking the trash out and coming back in and eating and going to sleep, the thing that you do is just throw some words to your wife, like, can't you take it out? Can't you see that I just got home? Can't you see that I'm tired? I had a very awful day, you know. And you might throw words like that, and then, you know, there's a very tensional situation, because you're a husband, she's your wife, and, you know, usually you talk to her like with kind words, and you should always talk to her with kind words, but now you feel like she doesn't realize that you're hurt, that you're tired, or you just think that you're too tired to take the garbage out, and you just throw the words like that without really thinking that you can hurt her. So we need to analyze the situation and think a little bit, you know, ask ourselves, did my wife really deserve for me to hurt her? Did she deserve to throw the words, for me to throw the words like that? And well, the answer that you will probably give yourself is, well, no, not really, but I'm so tired, man. You know, I've worked all day, I don't have patience anymore, and she just gives me the garbage to take it out. Can't she take it out, man? You know, and, well, okay, you had a very awful day, you know, you had a bad day. Okay, we understand that, but let's ask ourselves another question. Does the fact that you had a bad day give you the authority? Does that give you the right to talk like that to your wife? You know, she didn't do anything wrong. What gives you the right to talk like that? Just because you're tired, does that mean that you can hurt her? Well, the answer is no, not really. No, I don't have the right to hurt her, especially because she didn't do anything wrong. You know, I had a bad day. It's me who had the bad day. You're right. You know, I don't have the right to hurt her. But you know, I've been to work. She's been home all day. She didn't do anything, or maybe she did, but she's most certainly not as tired as I am. I don't understand why she must insist for me to take out the garbage, you know. And well, we have to think, well, are you sure she did nothing all day? I mean, maybe she's home, you know. Let's think of the situation, because you have a little kid, and she took care of your little child all day. Maybe your child was crying all day because his or her teeth, you know, the teeth just started to grow, and we know that kids cry all the time because it hurts them. And so maybe she prepared food for you, maybe she cleansed the house, or most certainly she did that, because most wives are good wives and are responsible women. At least that's what I want to believe, that's what I think. And really you should have and really She didn't just sleep all day. You know, maybe she had a bad day. She is tired because, you know, she made some food for you. She cleaned the house. She stayed with the kid all day. Maybe she already was outside today once. Maybe she went and did the groceries, did the shopping, and you know, you can't really just think that you had the worst day ever, and that gives you the right to talk like that, you know, because people around you, each and every one of us, have hard lives. Maybe there's 1% or 0.1% of people on this whole planet who have days like they're not doing anything all day, and you know, they have everything they want, and you can't say that they have a bad day, you know. But most of us, and if you're having a bad day, probably your wife has a bad day, or not a bad day as in an extremely bad day, but like overall, you know, the life is hard, man. You know, it really pushes you. It pushes each and every one of us, and then that's why the Bible and God advises us to try and get rid of these emotions, of these thoughts, you know. Mostly because God doesn't want us to hurt each other, because it's very easy to come home and tired and start arguing with your wife, with your kids, you know, just get everyone to hate you as soon as you come home, to make everyone think, oh my God, my husband is coming home, it's 4 o'clock, he's coming home, and he's gonna start arguing, you know. It's very easy to start hurting each other with words, with emotions. It's very easy to get angry with things that we shouldn't really get angry, and that's why the Bible advises us to try and get rid of these things, you know. If you feel like you're entitled to be angry, okay, you're entitled to be angry, but ask yourself, will this help me in the long run? Okay, maybe your wife did nothing all day, and maybe she didn't even cook anything, or maybe she didn't even clean the house, or maybe she really didn't do anything. I don't know what that guy was signaling, but okay. You know, but if you start yelling to her or at her, if you start arguing with her, does that really help the situation? Does that help the family? Does that help maintain the peace, the prosperity, and the love of the family? Well, obviously not. So what you should always be striving for is to keep control of yourself. You know, don't insult people around you, even if you think that you're entitled to do so because they hurt you with the intention. You know, try to get a hold of yourself. Try to look at this guy, man. In the last second he's signaling. Okay, calm yourself. So the idea is to try and calm yourself, and the next few verses, also from Colossians chapter 3, God tells us what we should do to make it easier for us, you know, with these relationships. And verse 10 and 11 from chapter 3 reads, "And clothe yourselves with the new personality, which through accurate knowledge is being made new according to the image of the one who created it." No, not this verse, sorry. Yes, verse 13 and 14, sorry about that. I was used to my language, you know, to see the verse. So verse 13 says, "Continue putting up with one another and forgiving one another freely, even if anyone has a cause for complaint against another. Just as Jehovah or God freely forgave you, you must also do the same. But besides all things, clothe yourselves with love, for it is a perfect bond of union." Wow, isn't that amazing? So verse 13 said, "Continue putting up with one another and forgiving one another freely, even if anyone has a cause for complaint against another." So that's interesting, you know. It's exactly what we've been talking about. So even if you have a reason to complain, even if everybody says, and even if you think that you have the right to be upset because of someone, the best thing to do is to forgive that person. You know, he did something bad. Okay, well, you might say, Well, okay, but how many times will I have to forgive him? You know, he will keep hurting me, and I will just keep forgiving him, and you know, that's gonna be my life from now on. Well, no, you might try and you know, not have as many uh, contacts with that person if it keeps hurting, if it doesn't change, if it doesn't make any adjustments in the way he or she acts. Okay, but even so, what can you do is to forgive and to tolerate that what he or she did. You know, just forget it. You know, swallow the mistake that person did. You know, just swallow it. You don't want to have it in front of your face all the time. You know, like you keep waking up every single morning and you keep saying all the same things and you keep remembering everything bad or that he or she did. You know, no, just forget it, man. Just forget it. Take it, man. I hit the camera. Just take it out of your sight. You don't want to see that every single day, because it will make your life worse. It will make your life a lot worse, and it will only hurt yourself. You know, keep reminding yourself all the bad things that everyone did. So that's what the Bible, that's what God says. You know, as God freely forgave you, you must also do the same. So we know that God forgives us if we repent. If we really I want to overtake this guy. Not just yet. So God wants to forgive us, and He can forgive us, and He forgives us every single time, even if we do really bad things. And so that's the example that we have to follow. You know, try to forgive everyone, like not just your family, not just the people that you know you love, and not just the people that you spend your whole time with. You know, even with workmates, and you know that guy on the bus that stepped on your shoe. You know, like it hurt you. You know, your shoe is now dirty, and you think yourself, well, I'm gonna show that guy. If I see him another time on the bus, I'm gonna step on him as well. Or even worse, you will think that, well, if I step on someone, I don't care because someone else stepped on me as well. You know, that's not the right thinking. Every time somebody does something bad to you, you have to quickly forget that thing. You know, just take it out of your mind. And then verse 14, if I recall correctly, yes, it says, but besides all these things, clothe yourselves with love, for it is a perfect bond of union. So try to show love to every single person in your life, because when you show love to someone, when you try to show you know, affection and you know, warm feelings toward people, that you know, you can't be angry and you can't love someone at the same time, or you can, but it doesn't very work for a long time. So you either hate a person or you will love a person, as you know, not love any, you know, you don't love the janitor in our company that I see every day, but you know what I mean. So try to manifest, try to you know, get out of your heart these warm feelings, because that way anger won't have space in your heart, and that's a very important thing. You know, try to always channel your energy, your thoughts, your feelings towards positive things, towards positive emotions, to each and every single person. You know, that guy, you know, man, he cut me off in the traffic. Like, it doesn't matter. I'm always you know, doing idiotic things in the traffic. You know, I do mistakes. He did a mistake. You know, everyone does mistakes. So let me just let this lady come on. You're welcome, lady. You know, and that way, if you always try to maintain a good heart, you always try to have positive feelings towards everyone, even those who wrong you, then man, look at these old Volkswagens. That way there won't be a space in your heart for bad emotions, for bad feelings, and really that's the idea. If you don't have space for anger in your heart, if your heart is not used to having all the time anger in itself, then when a bad situation arises, or however you say it, then you won't react in anger. You won't react, you know, saying bad words or words that you wouldn't really say in a normal situation. So this is one of the other things why I think the Bible is awesome. The Bible principles are awesome, are really good, and that's why I think we should all follow this set of rules, a set of you know, advices that God gives us through the Bible. So tomorrow I will be talking about another subject, still related to our society, and how the Bible can affect our lives. Because if we apply in our lives these things that I just talked about, obviously the quality of our life will improve massively. But there are still things that we need to talk about when it comes to our life and how we can change it. And so tomorrow I will be talking about that. But until tomorrow, guys, this has been Velocity Worm. This is my sign, boys. Let me just get on the other side of this railroad. Okay. And take care until tomorrow. Peace. Bye.